today's video is yet again another Chioma Chats video.
Nigga, pay attention.
Hey, so by today's title, I have another triggering, you know, Queen Chioma trigger Chioma. We got another triggering title for you guys, and that is Black women need to wear weave. We must wear weave. We have to wear weave. Weave must be on our head in order for us to be what we are, to be beautiful, to even be seen as pretty. We have to have weave. We have to have this white woman's hair on our head. Now, you guys know me. I'm very sarcastic, which those statements are so entirely false, but I've come across this whole entire, I guess you could say, epidemic on my channel or through my comment section, in which I am constantly being told that I am adding to the erasure of Black beauty because I choose to wear hair extensions, hair weave. And I think it's time to educate a lot of people watching, a lot of viewers, a lot of people that come across my channel about weave, the essence of weaves, why people wear weave, and everything in between, the whole entire 9 yards. So I have broken my video down into 5 main talking points, so let's get right into this video. Point number 1 is the reason why people wear weave. Now, I don't care what anyone has to say. If you do not have 4C hair, even type 4 hair period, but specifically 4C, you will never understand the struggle of what it is like to have to manage your natural hair. You guys also need to understand that in this day and age, we are at a point where many Black women, many people who have 4C hair, which is going to be majority Black women, but there are other people who are non-Black that have 4C hair. It is now at the point in time where we finally are getting some products that can help us with our hair, some utensils, some techniques, things that we can do that can help us with our hair. Yes, 4C hair existed long before any of us were ever thought of or created, but to see it in the media the way that we do and see it being promoted, it is pretty recent if you ask me. I don't think 4C hair was being promoted heavily up until maybe about, I'll give it maybe between 3 and 5 years ago. And 4C hair is very hard to manage, I swear to you. And because it has so many kinks, coils, tendency to dry, tendency to be breaking, just the way how it reacts to weather, climate, and changes, the way how 4C hair just is, period. Yes, it may be beautiful, but just the way how it is, period, in terms of management, there are so many reasons why people wear weave to manage their hair. One of those things being protection. People try to really come for me and say, I don't want to hear people use the defense that they wear weave because of protection. No, you want to be white. You're trying to erase being a natural Black beauty, as if there's not natural hair underneath this weave. Why do people think that in order for you to be natural that you cannot wear weave? Natural movement, the natural hair movement started by taking out perms and relaxers from our hair, taking those things that were throwing off our hair, making our hair straight, our non-kinky curly textures. That is what being natural means. Not because you throw a wig on your head for maybe 8 hours of the day and go to sleep looking like Allen Iverson in 2002. That does not negate that. I wear weave to protect my hair. The majority of people wear weave to protect their hair. Honestly, it is a tedious thing. No one's waking up every day in the morning to twist, untwist, kink, coil, and do all of those different things just to maintain and manage your natural hair. And who are y'all to tell me that I have to show you what my natural hair looks like? Like, I've gotten on camera with my natural hair. I've showed you guys what my Meek Mill braids look like. I even coined them Meek Mill braids. I showed you guys a natural hair reveal a few months ago, and I have long natural hair. Just because I wear weave does not mean that I hate my hair. I use it as a protection. That is my reason why. Also, the versatility of it all. Like I said, doing 4C hair is not easy. If you have 4A, that is different than having 4C. I'm not saying it makes it easier, but it kind of does make it easier to manage hair that is a little bit loosely textured compared to tight kinks and coils and breakage and the pain of it all. Like, imagine somebody pulling on your scalp and it's just, your hair is tangled. It's so hard to detangle your hair. And there are ways for it to be easier on some people, but not everyone has the tolerance. And the versatility of wearing wigs and weaves is very fun to me. Like, I could be a whole different person and nobody could tell me anything. I could wear long, wavy, deep wave, or I can wear hair that is big afro, kinky curl. I can wear sleek, straight hair. I can do anything I want with my hair with the versatility of wigs and weaves. I got the comment that wearing wigs is lazy, and honestly, it might be. It might just be because it's very hard to take care of 4C hair every day on a consistent basis. There are people that to do it, yes. In my lovely T voice, kudos to you, bitch. But I'm not just one of those people, especially when you have a tedious work schedule like me, like having to get up, go to class, go to organization, go to meeting, film on YouTube, do my business plans, make sure I'm good with family, keep up a relationship. It's just so hard, okay? And maybe it does make me lazy. Does it make me hate my blackness? Absolutely not. But those are my reasons as to why I wear weave. And I feel like there's people that have reasons as to why they wear weave all the time. Point number 2 is the distinction of textures. Is it really because of a woman wearing weave, or is it because of the texture of weave that she's wearing? I don't think people have an issue with people wearing weave or extensions, because if they did, they would have an issue with white women who wear weave that mimic or look more like their hair because it's silkier and straighter and matches with their natural hair, versus black women who wear weave. I think it's the texture of the weave that people take offense by. Now, I want you guys to hear me out with this. There is no such thing as a Caucasian straight or a Caucasian curly or a North American wavy. There's no such thing as that. When you look at these hair textures, it's always Indian, Brazilian, Malaysian. India, Malaysia, those places are in where? Asia. And Brazilian, that is where? South America. There's other things like Burmese. I know there's Mongolian that you can get your hair from. Where do you see it saying European wavy? Where do you see anything saying white American coil? Nowhere. Europeans and white Americans are Caucasian, aka white, okay? The hair that I render, that I put in my head, or that I make a wig of, is coming from Asian countries and South American countries. It's not coming from people that are white. So the argument that, oh, you're wearing a white woman's hair, how? When it's derived Indian curly, Brazilian wavy. Let's get our facts straight, because that is such a dumb and stupid argument, and I'm tired of people writing that in my comments. You sound very ignorant. Even to give the people who say that some points, I can understand people saying, well, you're wearing hair that doesn't look like your natural hair, so you hate your natural self. Okay, I can see where you're coming from, because this is not my natural hair texture. But like I said, if I was to wear a wig of my natural hair texture, not making the excuse, but why not just wear my natural hair when I can then just take care of my natural hair who is the same texture? If my natural hair texture is very hard to take care of on a daily basis, and I rather have a protective style because it helps it grow better, it helps it stay longer, all the 9 yards, why would I go and get hair that is, I guess, mimicking my natural hair texture, which I still can and I still would like to, when I can get a texture that is just a little bit more easy to manage like my own? And I'm not saying this as an excuse, but I'm just saying there's the reason why. And I don't like the fact that people try to negate the fact that if it's wearing weave or the texture of weave, because I think it's the texture that people have more issue with versus the weave itself. I think people are okay with clip-ins, glue-ins, wigs, sew-ins, whatever it may be. It's just the texture. People feel as if the texture doesn't match the person that it's on, then it's just fake and it's just terrible. But in reality, I just don't feel like that's the case. Like, I don't feel like people can be mad at black women for wearing weave or making fun of the fact that they wear weave when there are other races of women who also wear wigs, weaves, and any type of extensions. It's because of the texture of weave and not the action of actually wearing weave. So it's really a biased argument to make, just period. Like, I feel like that's a biased argument. Now, point number 3 is the main point, and that is embracing natural beauty. So I feel like it's a taboo topic. I feel like a lot of people only put so much pressure on wigs and weaves on black women when there are so many things that the majority of women do that I guess you could say adds to the non-embracing of natural beauty. How many of you girls wear acrylic nails? A lot. Does that mean that you hate your natural nails? Probably not. But does that mean that you like to accentuate or enhance or just like the look of them? Yes. Is it maybe easier for you to just wear acrylics than it is to wear your natural nails? Probably for some of you. But people will sit here and bash and diminish black women who wear weave, even though you wear acrylic nails, even where you wear false eyelashes, even though you're wearing eyelash extensions, even to the point where I feel like embrace your natural stank then. Why are you wearing deodorant if you want to be so natural? Embrace your natural stank, okay? Embrace your natural stank. You stank, wear your natural stank if it's so bad and everybody needs to embrace naturalness. Like, to me, it's just not an argument. It's so taboo to sit here and bash somebody for wearing wigs and weave. Meanwhile, you have acrylic nails, lash extensions, and whatever it may be. Like, just shut up. Like I said earlier, I understand to an extent, but why are people automatically assuming that we are covering up our natural beauty? Like, as if it's an effort to say, oh my God, I hate this hair. Let me just throw on this hair hat. Let me throw on this wig. Let me throw on this bundles because I just hate myself. Like, why is that the first assumption that you make? Why can't you think of any other reason as to why black women may be wearing weaves or wigs? People that are suffering from maybe chemotherapy or alopecia alopecia or something like a hair loss, hair thinning, who just want to feel feminine again, or the people who want to protect their natural hair. And I feel like a lot of people are misinformed about 4C hair and how it works, how it's affected by weather, climate, day-to-day friction, certain materials such as silk versus cotton, and how it works. People don't understand that. They look at the looser textured hair and just be like, oh, it's so beautiful, it's pretty, but then you see 4C hair and it's just like, oh no, that's not cute. It's like you even bash our natural hair, but then when we try to assimilate, because we've had to for many years through history of being a black woman, especially one with the nigatoid features, I want to call it, now people want to sit up here and bash you for doing it, but then bash you for leaving your hair out as well. It's like damned if you do and you damned if you don't. And I also want to point out that there are other components of natural beauty than hair. Like you don't just have to focus on the hair on top of somebody's head, but many times that is all people want to focus on. Like people attack me all the time. Mind you, I am someone who, not necessarily that I am like a natural beauty or anything like that, but like this is my natural face. This is my natural body. Oh, and by the way, I had someone tell me that I was overweight, probably because my face really is chubby and I do have some extra neck. But let me just let me just give y'all a little, hold on. I can't even remember who said that to me. Someone told me that I was overweight. Honey boo boo child. Let me back this thing on up for you. Hold on now. This is real hips. This is real, hold on. This is real butt, okay. Overweight where? Okay, I'm sorry. I just had to do that because somebody really tried it with me and I was just like, excuse me, like I know I have a chubby face, but I'm definitely not overweight. You wish you could look like me. Please and thank you. Back to the subject at hand. My fourth point is this argument that girls really try to, I guess, bash other girls for wearing weave, which I will never understand because it's just hair at the end of the day. But I get a lot of people that are like, oh, I don't need weave. My hair is long. Like I heard that as an argument growing up, like I don't need weave. I have long hair. Like I don't need this. This is what my hair looks like. And it's just like, nobody needs weave. Nobody needs wigs. Nobody needs any of that. Like people need to understand it is a protective style. Weaves and wigs are creative styles used for protection more than anything. And I would like to give you guys a history of weaves and wigs because a lot of you always speak on this as if black women are just the worst people in the world for wearing wigs and weaves, when you don't know that wigs and weaves started right where most black people derive from, in the continent of Africa. So shout out to my girl Leah Cordone, because I would like to insert her video very quickly so you guys can get a little history lesson, since some people just don't know what they're talking about.
So many people think woke black women or black women in general should not wear weave is a setback, and they also believe that weave is white people's hair that we should let go. Let me just say this, hair extensions have nothing to do with DNA. It is not classified to a certain group of people. The origin of hair extension dates back to Cleopatra. Believe it or not, Egyptians in 3400 BC wore wigs, sew-ins, hair pieces, and braids that were made of human hair and dyed sheep wool. They also used beeswax to attach the extensions. They had different colors. Bright blues, red, gold were very popular in addition to conventional black. Cleopatra's favorite color to wear was peacock blue. Even before European slave ships arrived to Africa, hairstyles was always important to black women. They spent many hours of the day, working with their locks, their plaits, and their twists. Both men and women wore hair extensions. It turned into something that identified your ranking, your social class, or your birth. In the 20th century, they used different type of hair extension looks, more popular weaves, and more plaits and switches. All the wigs that were used were not straight. Majority of them were curly and coiled wigs. Now from the 60s to today, I can say that we went from fros to relaxers to going to weaves to now embracing more so of our natural hair. We are now using weaves as a way to basically protect our hair from damages. The fact is, the number of people that have relaxed hair have declined. The fact is, a lot of people that do wear weaves are actually natural.
Yes, so now that you guys got your little history lesson for today, I hope that you are a little bit more, less ignorant when you're making your arguments against people, because the amount of people that have come for me on this argument is so crazy to me. Now, my fifth and final point is the argument that black women cannot grow long hair. Now, I, again, want to reiterate the fact that 4C hair is very very hard to deal with. 4C hair shrinks. Shrinkage basically means that your hair is coiled up so tightly, but when you stretch the hair, you get to see how long your hair really is, or how your hair texture would look if it was a bit looser. So because 4C hair is so tightly coiled up, that just basically means that our hair is coiled up. It shrinks, like it gets into a really dense, very tightly coiled pattern. If 4C was not a thing and our hair was just a looser texture, you would see more length and we would be given more of a pass to wear weaves or just rock our natural hair. But because the hair is not what people like it to be, socially I guess you can say, then we get bashed and people will say things like, oh, well, black women cannot grow long hair. No, a lot of black women have very long hair, or if it's not long, it's still healthy and it reaches a certain length, but you just really will never know because shrinkage is an MF, okay? Shrinkage really is a mother effer, okay? Shrinkage be making me so mad, but it is a part of my hair. Like, I can't really help it. I saw one girl talking about how she used to like intentionally straighten her hair to loosen the curl pattern, like really give herself heat damage because she didn't want her hair to shrink up. And it's kind of funny because I feel like I used to do that at one point when I was like in middle school. The back part of my hair would be like so loosely coiled. It was really like a 3C for real after a while, and I was gonna do it to my whole head, but then I realized heat damage is really not good for you, and that was back when I didn't really know much. I don't know, I just kind of find it funny that like people really have this argument that black women cannot grow long hair just because you don't see it, because most of the time the coil of our hair is gonna be in a shrunken state does not mean that it does not happen. I feel like it's a very ignorant statement to make. So those are pretty much my 5 main talking points, and I don't know, I just feel like I can understand where people are coming from to an extent, but you also have to understand the fact that I run a business, and a lot of girls on YouTube do run a business when it comes to hair. A lot of companies are paying us a lot of money just to talk about hair and promote hair. And do you have to buy it? No. Do you have to go and put your money towards it? No. Unlike a lot of other YouTubers, especially the black ones, with me, I take the hair that they give me. Yes, they pay me, but I also make it into wigs and I sell it for a way less price than you're gonna buy it from these Asian companies that sell hair. And I made it into my own business for myself because at the end of the day, yes, I may be promoting a European standard of beauty or whatever you guys want to call it, but I'm still taking what those people are giving me and putting it back into my community and bringing the black dollar to go around and around and circulate, unlike a lot of people. Stop acting like black women cannot straighten their hair straight. When people be like, oh, well, black women can straighten their hair, but it's never going to be like a silky straight. I feel like that is so false. People think that our hair can only get to like a kinky straight, and that's not true. Hair is hair regardless. The natural state of hair will be your curl pattern, whether it's 1A all the way to 4C, but you can straighten your hair silk straight so that it matches with a straight texture. It may not be the same milky, silky feel, but you can get your hair to be straight. Stop acting like black women cannot straighten their hair. If a white woman with a 2C curl pattern, which is probably around like maybe the top up here, like this wave pattern, this is probably like a 2C, straightens her hair, it's no problem. Even if that person is not white, maybe it's a mixed race person, maybe it is a black person with a loose wave texture hair. If that person straightens their hair, then it's just like, oh, okay, she just straightened her hair, typical. But once a black woman straightens their hair or wears a straight wig, all of a sudden she's emulating a European standard of beauty. Why? As if we can't straighten our own hair? Our hair doesn't get straight just because our natural hair is usually not? It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why do we get so much backlash, so much talk about our hair and the hair that we like to wear or the styles that we choose to do, when in reality we started all of this shit, okay? All this stuff came from Africa. Braids came from Africa. All of that stuff came from us. How could we be the ones perpetrating another racist identity or culture? And I hate the people who think that we are appropriating white culture, because that's nonsense, but whatever. When in reality we're the ones that pioneered the entire thing. Okay. That's what I thought. So I don't know, you guys, like I just get kind of annoyed with people commenting that on my channel. I run a business. I'm gonna keep promoting hair. If it makes you uncomfortable, then unsubscribe. Why are you still here? Unsubscribe, log off, unplug. Dial down. I feel like I'm gonna do another video on like black business or how, you know, these Asian companies are paying me, and I feel like I really want to explain it a little bit better so that people can understand, because I just don't feel like the backlash is warranted, and I don't think I owe anybody anything either. Like, I don't have to show you my natural hair. If I want to wear this, I am free to do that, and I can. It helps my hair. My hair has grown tremendously, or in my TI voice, expeditiously, since I've kept it in protective styles, which are braids underneath. You know, I'm still rocking my cornrow braids, like I'm still rocking these Afrocentric styles, but just because I put a wig on my head to help cover it because this texture is easier than my texture doesn't mean I hate myself. Like, that's just so stupid. I don't hate myself. I don't hate my hair. Growing up, a lot of us black women, especially those who have the coarser texture hair, had to go through a transitioning period in which we were able to even embrace or at least accept our hair. Like, if you're not going to embrace something, you can at least accept it for what it is, and that's a big step in my opinion. I've overcome so much in accepting my hair to the point where I really could care less what people think about what I do with my hair because it's my head at the end of the day. If you feel like that's weird, then again, unsubscribe and leave. What are you guys' thoughts? I want to know what you guys have to say about this topic. What do you guys think? You know, I always love to read the comments. So don't forget to also follow me on all of my social media networks, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.